Oh my god, today's been hilarious and then annoying on top of it. You know, some guy drove by and screamed, "They all know she'll turn him into the Department of Justice." I will. They can run around saying they have illegal surveillance. They prove it to a cop, you'll have to arrest him. That I can turn the cop in. Like Reinhardt said in Louisville. It's illegal to be in somebody's home, and it's illegal to look and listen. 300 officers in Nevada lost their badge. Got asked to resign, fired, or arrested. It can be up to 5 years for looking at illegal surveillance, illegal search and seizure. No one's allowed in your home except for those special protected light cases set up correctly, and only that. You know, they were following me. They got my car bugged from Will's protected light case, and those dirty officers up there sold it for money. The login to watching me at home, protective light custody, September 27th, 18. I had talked to Will at the Canton FBI, and he turned it over to police protective light custody. Okay, and he didn't look into anything. I'm not for sure what happened with that. And I told you, he didn't even call. Where he said he couldn't help me without a witness, and then it triggered that memory of, I had asked Sarah where they were drugging me up, and I couldn't remember even the guy trying to kidnap me, trying to carjack me, could find him at Giant Eagle. I could only remember the What a Shame guy, because they were driving me up with amnesia drugs. You know, bitch moves. That's why my head was swimming. Then they lied. They were agents from the agency stationed in the courthouse, and they were using sodium pentothal on me. Some ladies last week, they used amnesia drugs on her only. They need to do something about this. They do. Will's gross negligence on ungodly levels. So, you know, I got to thinking, and I am not one bit racist. My extended family is African American, Caucasian, and Filipino. My family's beautiful, okay? Everybody's the same. It's just pigmentation, eye color, and hair color. And everybody's the same inside. But you know what? If this would have happened, if a cop and a stalker, an old fat white man, broke into an African-American lady's house, raped her, and put it on the internet and sold it for people's enjoyment, Black Lives Matter would shut down the nation. Every African-American would be out there on the streets picketing. If they were illegally surveillancing them in their home and photoshopping them in porns and roofing drinks, and they never even talked to anybody, and stabbing them with needles, and it came out they were doing it and trying to extort money, they'd shut down the nation. If they abducted them and put a chip in their head and publicly humiliated them, they'd shut down the nation. You know, they don't tolerate crap. Their ancestors were sold for money. They were beat, raped, and tortured. And they won't tolerate being anybody of their descent being mistreated here in the United States. Caucasian white people aren't smart enough to be mad over this. They ought to have been on the FBI Semitic tip. They're terrorists against the United States government. And what is wrong with the local FBI not taking care of this? Are they covering up Will's big mistake? Huh? Are they? Because, you know, that guy told on me the night before. And he didn't even find that out. He didn't find out about illegal surveillance, photoshopping. Everybody knows that shower scene was photoshopped. And even a child. 2 weeks ago, Saturday, those bastards actually framed her before. Inside Dollar General, her mom's like, yeah, I told these people to stop saying stuff to her. I told you about Ed at the Oakland apartment, December 9th, 21. Someone called him at 4 p.m. and told him all the tapes before with them, not me, and it's just a bunch of men doing crimes down here. December 9th, 21, Starr County Hunger Task Force, one of my bodyguards, white man, bald with dark eyes, distributing food in the back, came back out and said the same thing. We always knew the tapes before with them, not her. So we never said a word. And then there was an African-American lady said she was going to extort money out of me. And then she showed up, what was it, December 2nd or 3rd at Save-A-Lot? That by the freezer aisle, that she knew they made everything up. Now, Ed and that other guy went to investigators and the police. And that other guy screamed it out while all the police were driving by March 24th, 22, 1/1/30. You framed her before? Yeah, I framed her before. Shame on you. I know I wish I wouldn't have done it. Those people even raped her. Amy heard it in the apartment. Other people walking all the apartments. We all heard that bastard admit to framing her. I got more, and I got a whole bunch of druggers where I had bruises And they're admitting they were the bruises and why my head was spinning. They were amnesia drugging me. Hell hasn't froze over. They don't get a dime. Yeah. And I've never been questioned. Be raped, tortured by a cop. I'll tell you what, they did this to somebody of African American descent, they would have already shut down the nation the first day. They have more common sense than to let people steal the Constitution and their civil rights and laws against them or for them to protect them from these villains. They would have shut the nation down. What do you mean they went in and raped that woman? And they got it on the internet, a cop, a stalker, an old fat white man. Yeah, they'd shut down the nation if I was African American. Black Lives Matter would shut it down. They would have shut it down. What do you mean you're going to chip one of our people? You won't touch us. What do you mean the cops are breaking and stabbing people with needles and telling people they have sodium pentothal reports on agents and then publicly humiliating someone? Yeah, they would have shut down the nation. You wouldn't touch one of their descendants. Caucasian white people are not that smart enough to get mad enough to call the FBI and say, get down here, headquarters, because something's wrong with the local FBI. They won't do something about this. Are they covering up that guy's gross negligence, or was he part of it? You need to find out, because not one thing should have happened. Not one thing. I'll tell you what, all these white people, they were laughing at me in Mercy Medical. We all know they hired all those people to run around making fun of her for this. What kind of sick demons of hell make fun of a rape victim? One that's been drugged up by a cult and almost murdered, trying to save her family. What kind of sick demons of hell make fun of a victim like that? And one that's been abducted and shipped. And I'll tell you what, I went to the FBI office. They didn't know about it, but I'll tell you what, they could have pulled Will's case. Real protective light custody. December 21st, 18, stabbed in the neck at the refrigerator. And they framed the FBI at Altman Hospital March 13, 21 at 2:53 p.m. that the agency did it. And our government recognizes it as a legal strategy for the truth. You use it for medical field patients for paralyzed. But you can't get the truth out of someone. It's terrorism against our government, and it's just a bunch of criminals down here. And they don't think anybody can stop them. And it's going to take somebody with guts to come down here and actually do their job and get them. They're just criminals who run around with fake FBI badges. And framing the FBI. Someone needs to help. Because what's going to stop them from doing it to the next person? Nothing. Nothing. And the FBI is sworn to uphold the Constitution for everyone in the United States. And police officers are sworn to protect. And when you do the opposite, you're criminals. It comes down to that. And I'll tell you what, investigators will run around. We all know this woman's innocent. Maximum police will verify it. They watch my daughter-in-law Dix on Federal Avenue. Drive around because they tamper with their vehicles. I'll tell you what. I'm telling you, if I was African-American descent, the African-American people would have shut down the nation the first day. Because they're smarter than you people. You won't ever do this to us. Apparently, Caucasian white people aren't smart enough to get mad when the government breaks the law. Or criminals trying to pretend they're government people and they're not. They're not smart enough to be mad. And not to think it's funny to rape people, to chip them, to publicly humiliate them, to drug them up. They think it's funny hurting a victim. Like one of my guards said, we all know she's a victim of a cult, drugging her and trying to kill her before. You like making fun of victims? Get some mental help! Someone please help.